Howdy, y'all. Well, I'm gonna try to lead lap this Contender 44 barrel. First, I want to apologize for anything of coughing or gagging or anything. I'll try to edit out any of it I can. But I got COVID. I'm sitting at home bored to death. I mean, other than a head cold, I'm fine. So, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna make us a lead lap, and here's the first part of it: is take an old cleaning brush, one that you either wore out or something. This one I really didn't have one that was wore out, so I just found one that I really don't use that much. And I prefer a short one. Now I've done this many times on all of my air gun barrels, but I've never done one on this big of a caliber for sure. But basically take a cleaning brush, and then I wrap below it with took about a piece of 1-inch wide t-shirt and wrapped it until it was snug to go into the barrel, and then use some sewing thread to tie it all together, and then take some painter's tape, put behind it to back it up so it won't slide down. So what we're going to do, we're going to slide that in there like that till it gets to the end of the barrel. See it right there? All right. Now I'm going to use my lead dipper here to pour it with. Gloves on, all that stuff. Now, luckily on this Contender barrel, it's kind of easy to sit and rest it. Let me open these up a little bit more. If you were doing a revolver or something like that, it'd be a little harder to do. It's just too thick there. There we go. I don't want to hold the barrel itself in case I spill it. All right, here we go. We're just going to let that sit there and cool off real good. I may have to cut the end of it off here in a minute because I poured a little too much. Well, I'm going to come back as soon as it cools off. Alright, what I done was, let's see if it's focusing. What I done was took these little nibblers and just cut around the end of it until it would slide back into the barrel. Alright, now before I do anything else, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a file and I'm going to put a notch right on top here, right in line with my sight. And the reason I'm doing this is so that I know where it's oriented. I've seen people doing it. I don't know if it'll show up there or not. When I take this thing out and I put it back, I'm going to take all that tape and stuff off, and when I will put it back together, if If I line that notch up with my sight, then I know that all the lands are are the same. I'm going back into what's the lead formed. If you swap them around, all your riflings could be a little bit different. So this is a way of keeping it straight. All right, there's how it look like when we take it out. Be careful with it, because this lead that I'm using is my lead for my cap and ball and air guns. It's pure lead with a little bit of tin in it. Everybody says you're supposed to use pure lead to do this, but you don't really have to. You can use whatever you got. I mean, it's not as hard as the steel anyway, so it's not going to hurt nothing. All right, there's my notch. Come right back in. Now I'm all lined up again. Let me get everything else ready and we'll be right back. All right, this contender barrel kind of makes it easy. Like I say, if you're using a pistol or a revolver or whatever barrel you're using, you always got to figure out how to clamp it up good. This contender is pretty easy. So what we're using is JB Bore Bright. If that's on the camera, yeah. Pull this out here. Alright. I'm gonna put us some on here. And there's gonna be some that comes off. But we're just gonna take it. Make sure you got a rod that rotates. That's good. This is a good Tipton here. Just gonna pull it in and out. We're gonna do this probably 50 times. Try to go the same amount every time. Figure out where the lead is there so you don't come out of the chamber. So like I said, we're going to do this probably 50 times, so we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, we've done that probably about 50 times or so. We're going to put a little more on there. One thing is, don't get in a hurry. You get in a hurry, you'll all of a sudden push it out the other end, and then you got to make sure you're aligned again. You know, just take your time. What I'm doing too is kind of putting pressure down a little bit, up a little bit, and on this side a little bit each way as I'm working it through. I took pictures, I took a video of the bore before, and I'll take a video afterwards. So say just keep at it. This stuff that can't hurt it. It's not abrasive enough to hurt anything. But when it gets through, if it's smoother, a lot smoother than it was before you started, less chance of any kind of leading or fouling, copper. back and forth, back and forth. All right, we'll be back in a little while. All right, I'm gonna run a jag through it, push everything out. Not too bad. Get most of it out. So now we're gonna do it again. Let's see, there's my notch. Get some all over it. Start again. Back and forth, just real slow. Alright, we'll be back in a little bit. Alright, we think we've done it enough this now. What I'm going to try to do is clean it up good and take a borescope and look in it again. Let's put a little bit of cleaner on it. I tell you, I really like this Extreme Cowboy blend, Montana Extreme. I really like it. All right. Obviously, I got to use my phone for my camera, so I'm gonna turn that off and video the bore. And we'll be back. All right. Now, I know by looking from the first video to the second video of the bore, it doesn't look like it done a lot, but you can definitely see that I started polishing off some of the tops of the machine marks. Now, I wasn't trying to get it super smooth on this one because it really doesn't need it, but I was getting a little bit of leading, so I wanted to make sure I get all the lead out of it. I cleaned on this thing, I don't know, 30-40 minutes, and got as much as anything out of that I could find. I really couldn't see any more coming out on the patches or anything. And then I'm lapping it a little bit, and all that's really doing is, all I wanted to do was take off the little spots that are, you know, like hangnail, catch that lead and rip it. That's all I wanted to do. So if you want to get more aggressive than that, you can get some obviously JB has one that's a little rougher than this. I've got some in the house, but I didn't want to use it. Or you can go to lapping compound and use that. Say if you really wanted to remove some metal and smooth it really up, you'd have to use some grinding compound, you know, some really fine stuff, some like 6,000 or something, whatever. I've got some at work I could have used on it, but like I say, I don't want to use that on it. I just wanted try to knock off any of those little, what I call little hangnails in there, and clean it up a little bit. I can, like I say, I can see some spots on top of the machine marks. It's hard to pick it up in the videos, but it's there. Anyway, just bored, trying to keep myself busy from sitting. I'm having this COVID crap, so hope y'all learned something. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.